All right, guys, very good morning to one and all present in the class for the one last time. Good morning, all. I hope I'm audible to everyone in the class. Yes, no, maybe. Advance Happy New Year. So last class, we had tried to understand that what is the purpose of message broker such as Apache Kafka, which is one of the message broker where one application, let me just go here, where one application number one can send some data, and one more application number two, can take the data with lowest latency possible. If one data sending or one application sending the data and immediately one more application getting the data, in between message broker comes into picture. And what is that message broker, guys? Which is none other than Kafka. Kafka is usually run within Zookeeper. This is the Zookeeper. Within that, we have to turn on Kafka server. And within the Kafka server, we have something called as Kafka topic. Inside the Kafka topic, the actual message, that message is data. Whatever data you're producing is only called as message. So you're producing the data, you can call it as publishing the data, and here you're getting the data. Consuming the data can be called as subscribing the data. So with that regard, if you have understood last class, this application is also called as publisher application. And this application which is taking the data, that message which is there with the topic, is called as subscriber application. All of you are there with me, everyone in the class? Yes, no, maybe. Now this application publishing the data to the Kafka server within the Kafka topic is also one event-based programming. And this subscribing that is also one of the event. Publishing the data in the topic within the Kafka server is an event. Subscribing the data is an event. I have to just subscribe the data which has been published. Now to publish the data, like the way we have used JDBC template, then we have used Redis template, then we have used the REST template. We have something called as Kafka template. Kafka template to publish the data, and to subscribe the data we have something called as Kafka listener. So you have to configure two things. One is Kafka template, so that you can publish the data into Kafka server. Immediately, whatever data you're publishing in the Kafka server, that has to be subscribed by one more application, for which we have to configure Kafka listener. That is the demonstration I want to give. And a video which I was talking, guys, I think our team is uploaded. I could not able to see last week. They're supposed to. They are on leave for 2-3 days. They are traveling. Probably on 2nd or 3rd of January, which is day after tomorrow or before that, that particular video will be uploaded in the dashboard which I was talking. Okay. And it will be there in the microservices only. This section only, I'll make sure that it is getting added. And that is one update. Apart from that, key points is also will be uploaded this week itself on the same microservice platform, the last point. Okay, that also will get added in your course dashboard. By chance, if both the things are missing, anyone can just, I will only cross check and make sure that it is getting added before Friday. If it is not getting added, anyone can just remind me on the LinkedIn. I'll make sure that it is getting added. Okay. So Kafka listener, Kafka template. To send the data, to subscribe the data, Kafka listener. These two things has to be configured. Here we have to configure that I am sending the data in the form of key value pair. The message which you have to send in the Kafka topic will be in the form of key value pair. And subscribe. So you have to publish the data that has to be subscribed, for which Kafka template you have to configure, Kafka listener you have to configure to subscribe the data in the form of key value pair. Here you have to specify where is the Kafka server located. What is the port number on which Kafka server? Usually the default server on which Kafka will be there is on 9092. Inside this you have to name the topic. Within this port number there is a Kafka server. Inside that Kafka server there will be some topic, whatever name of topic you want you can give, and you have to specify inside this topic please add this message. And in one more application you have to configure Kafka listener and you have to specify that there is a Kafka server on 9092. Within that there is a Kafka topic, name of the Kafka topic. From there you have to subscribe the data. If you have specified, you will be able to do that. Same thing we had tried to understand in the last class. Now we have to go for the coding part. Yes, no, maybe. If I have to open the application, guys, last class already we had created the application. It is pom.xml and you can see two dependencies I have added here. Kafka dependency, web dependency for our REST API. Let me go and add the model here. I'll go here. I'll say right click, new class, and I'll go with customer. I don't want to just add one string message. I want to add a whole Java object so that can be subscribed, not just one thing here. I have created one class, guys. It's normal model class on which I would like to work with. As you all know, it's default things. Integer type of ID, private, string type of name, private, string type of city. I'll just go with setters, getters, and whatnot. I'll just go and have my setters and getters ready. Guys, in the project, those who are facing that issue, it is because of the Lombok, guys. Lombok configuration, you have to specify on which ID you use. That's the reason most of them we don't use Lombok. It's just facility available. Not every time you have to use it. Okay. I'll go and have added this. This is my model class on which I would like to work with. Yes, no, maybe. Now I'll go to my configuration, guys. I'll go to my configuration. I'll say right click. I'll say class. I'll say here Kafka publisher configuration is what I have told here. Okay. Or maybe Kafka configuration generic name. You say what is good for you. You can just give the name. And you should be telling the name of the annotation which I have to use here. By default, it is none other than configuration. I'll say here configuration. Guys, this is a publisher application. Look at the diagram. Should I configure Kafka template here or Kafka listener here? What is it I have to configure? Please interact for the last time, my dear friends. Everyone in the class. You have been so interactive and supportive throughout the time, and today is the last time wherein I am asking you for the same. I'll go back here to my application. Kafka template is what I have to do it. I'll say public. I'll say Kafka template. I'll say string type of key, customer type of object. I would like to add into the Kafka server, and this I am configuring Kafka template. After I configure the Kafka template, I have to hand over that Kafka template to the Spring, for which I have to use here bean. Done. Tick mark. Now I will say here return new Kafka template, where the key will be in the form of string and the value is customer. And within this, I have to specify the configuration. I have to just specify. You just join with the Zoom link again, Pawan. Guys, here I will specify the things. Where is my Kafka server located? What is the Kafka topic name? I will use one serializer for the key serializing. One customer JSON serializer I'll use. I have to just do the configuration. For which I will write one method. Maybe I'll say here producer factory is the name of the method where I will configure the details into Kafka server. I'll create a method. Okay. This entire method, you can make it public, not a matter of concern. I'll say public so that I have to hand over this to my Spring. I'll go back here. First, let me just configure. And I will say here, don't use some predefined producer. Whatever I'm telling, please use that into IFC container. All right. Now here, I will go and say here, map type of string is the key and object is the value. I'll say here, configuration properties equals to new hash map. And within this, I will specify what I needed. I'll say config properties dot put key value you have to specify. Okay. And I will say here config dot put. All right. Now, my dear friends, I'll just specify here producer config. I'll say here dot. I will say here bootstrap server configurations, and the value here, where is my Kafka server located and what is the name of the topic. Where is my Kafka server located and what is the name of the topic. You can do one thing in the application.properties. You can specify, you can create the variable here, private, maybe I'll say here host URL, whatever you want. Okay. And you can specify here, and maybe you can use the value annotation like the way I have discussed earlier also. Option number 1. Option number 2, I'll do one thing. I'll create one utility class. I'll create one. I'll say right click. Multiple ways are there. In the application.properties, you can specify and use the value annotation and get that location. Or I'll go back and create one package here. Name of the package, I'll say .util. That means supporting utility. I'll go and create one class here. Name of the class as maybe application constants. The name could be anything. Application constants, I'm referring to such properties which are constant throughout the application, which are fixed. Getting it, guys? I'll go to this class and I'll specify here. I'll say public. I'll say static so that I can access that particular URL through the class name itself. Final, I don't want anyone to modify this. I will say string type of host URL. Where is my Kafka server? I have to specify. I will say here my Kafka server currently is in localhost in the same machine in the port number 9092, because that is the default port number on which Kafka is running. After which I will say here public static final string type of, I will say here the topic name. Whatever topic name you want, you can specify. I'll say this is the topic name. Inside the Kafka server, the topic name is this, where the message will be published. I'll give the name of the topic as Telescope topic. I would like to save this. Now this is a static properties, guys. Directly the class name I can access. I will just say here the value equals to name of the class which I have given is app constants. Constants is the name I've given. Constants dot app constants dot, I will say host URL. I've specified the URL here. Getting it? Everyone in the class? Yes, no, maybe. All of you are there. Others in the class. Now guys, I will use this producer configuration. I'll say dot key serializer. Key I want to serializer. And string is the key type. So I would like to just go back and say here string serializer dot class, and I'll say here producer config dot value serializer configuration. Values of customer type, but I want to store in the JSON. So I'll say here JSON serializer. I will just say here JSON serializer dot class. Fine. And guys, make sure that the JSON is giving you, I think, multiple option. Don't go with the Jackson, go with the Kafka, Spring Kafka. Okay, it's not Jackson thing. And now guys, this entire thing, I will just say a return new producer factory is a return type, right? I will say here new producer factory and I would like to just specify this configuration properties. Done. Not this. I'll go back here. I would like to copy this in the constructor. I will just like to add this. Producer factory is okay. It is a class which extends abstract configuration. There are other implementing classes, which is I'll go with default Kafka producer factory. I'll say new default Kafka producer. I'll say Kafka producer factory. It is imported, no issues. The Kafka template is handed over, guys. Inside the Kafka template, I have added this configuration. Now, the Kafka template is aware what is the topic name and where is the Kafka server located. Topic name is also Kafka template is aware, and the location of the Kafka server also Kafka template is now aware of, right? I'll go back to my service layer. I'll say right click. I'll create a new class here. I'll say new class. I will say here Kafka service. I'll just go back here in my business layer. I'll say here maybe service. I would like to import it. And now I will say private Kafka template string type of key, customer type of value. I'll say Kafka template. And we have already handed over the Kafka template, guys, to the Spring by using Bean. So in the Spring IOC container, there is information available on the Kafka template. I just have to use one annotation here. What is the name of the annotation, guys? Name of the annotation is auto. Done, no? Now I will just write my business logic method. I'll say here string type of add the customer message. That means customer data. And that data I will accept from my REST API method. I'll just say customer type of CX. And here I will say Kafka template. I will just go back here. I will just use it here. Dot one method called as send. Okay. I will just specify the name of the topic. What is the topic name, guys? Topic name I have already specified here. You can specify directly string there itself. This is one of the way, that's it. Okay. You can specify write the name there because string type of topic name it is expecting. I will say a dot topic name. And what is the message? The actual data is not some message. I want to send the JSON data, customer type of data as the message. I would like to save this. After which simply I will just say here return, just to have a control flow readability with us. I will just say here customer data added into Kafka server. All right, I would like to save this. Done, no issues. I'll just go back here, right click, I'll say new, create a class. I will say here customer controller. As normal, the remaining things, there is nothing to even bother. I'll say REST controller. I have to just auto, or I'll say private Kafka service type service. I would like to go back here. I'll say auto add. I will say here public string type of add customer. I will say here customer type of CX request body. And I will say here return service dot add this and the CX message. Done. Finish. Of course, I may have to go with and say here post mapping. The endpoint here I'll give it as add CX. All right, guys. Then we have to go with the one more application. Name of the application is very simple, subscriber application. In the subscriber application, we have to configure Kafka template or Kafka listener, guys. Kafka template or Kafka listener in the subscriber application. All of you are there? Yes, no, maybe. And the most important part is I could able to start my Kafka server and run the same application on my Mac. Windows also, whatever commands I have told it is correct, but in this system actually we have the problem of Windows. I mean the Kafka server. If you could remember the last class, guys, how many of you know that we had the problem? All of you could able to start the Kafka server, guys, by following what we have done in the last class. Yes, right. And the same commands will work. In my local system, I've done so many applications, right? There is a problem. First, let me turn on my Kafka server. If not, what is the point? Ayyo. If not, I have ran the same application on my Macintosh also many of time. For multiple batches, I will run and show you there. Not a problem. Okay. Could you please tell me the command, guys, everyone, to turn on the Zookeeper? All of you in the class. Zookeeper. Everyone. Hyphen. Fast, please. Yes. Server hyphen start dot bat for Windows, sh for Macintosh and Linux. Okay. Dot start. After which I'll say here Zookeeper dot properties, because in the Windows folder I have already added zookeeper.properties. If you don't add, then you have to go outside and you have to say config and then you have to start this. Getting it? Because I have added already the Kafka in my Windows, so only I could able to do that. My Zookeeper is starting. No issues. Let me try for the Kafka also. I will say here for Kafka, what is that, guys? Kafka hyphen server hyphen start dot bat space Kafka Kafka. No, not Kafka. Server.properties, right? Server.properties for Windows. See, there is some issues. Okay, let me stop this here. Multiple times these applications have been running on my Mac also, guys. Same applications are there. All right. Okay, let me just write the code for the subscriber and then I'll demonstrate this on my different PC right now only. Okay, I've done for n number of batches, so that should not be an issue. Okay, let me just, anyway, this is of no. I'll do one thing, guys. Let me get my Mac in MacBook Pro. 1 minute, guys. I'll just try to connect from a different laptop. All right. Allow me 1 minute of time, okay? Every one of you. Are you all there? I'll just open these commands. Okay, okay. I'll open the ID. The workspace name was something. Okay. All right. Allow me a moment of time, guys, everyone. My screen is visible to everyone. Yes, no, maybe. Get started, quick start. And to start the Macintosh, I think these are the commands we have to use it. Command C, and I do have Kafka server here. So I'll do one thing. I'll open my terminal. Okay. Let me open the terminal. Guys, I'll go to my desktop. I'll first turn on, okay. Before that, let me just cross check for the application. Yeah. Forget about the name of the application, guys. I'll be adding the same application to your course. Let me just go back to Kafka publisher. You can see the same configurations are there. No difference in the configuration. I've configured the host. I've configured the key and value. Kafka template is configured, guys. Inside the Kafka service, you can see I'm just sending the data. Nothing apart from that. And I'll go and demonstrate you the subscriber application. In the subscriber application, it is same utility. I mean, from where I have to consume the server, I have specified the topic name I have specified. It is up, if it is down, I think there is no difference in that. That is not the issue. Okay, I have not configured here, no problem. Model data is same, guys. And here you can see I'm just using the specified where is my host string deserializer key and JSON deserializer. And you can see I'm configuring concurrent Kafka listener. Kafka listener is what I'm configuring here. Are you able to see this, guys? Inside this Kafka listener, I have added the consumer factory. I have added the information which is needed. So it is default Kafka consumer factory and Kafka listener. I'll go back to my main method. In my console, I'm just printing the data which I'm getting it from the Kafka topic. Okay. So Kafka listener I have already configured. So this is the Kafka listener from where I have to listen. That information also I have configured here. All right. There is no much changes in the configuration, just that we have to go with Kafka listener and the consumer factory, their producer factory, Kafka template. Producer factory, Kafka template, Kafka consumer factory, Kafka listener. That's the difference between publisher and subscriber application. Everyone in the class? Yes, no, maybe? Could you please give me some response? These four components are the most important components, guys. I'll go back. Where is this? I'll go and say, first of all, go to the desktop. Okay. I'll say here we have a folder called as Kafka folder. Within this folder, I will just go and make sure to run this command. sh for Linux and Macintosh, guys. And .bat is for the Windows. And this is same, just because Zookeeper I have added inside my Windows, directly I could be able to run. If not, there also .config and then slash Zookeeper only you have to run on the Windows also. Let me just go and add this. I will just run this. My Kafka Zookeeper, I hope there is no problem. Zookeeper is starting, guys. Thankfully, there is no problem. I'll open the new. Okay. I'll go back here. Again, I'll go back, CD, go to desktop, go to Kafka. Okay. I'll just go and the command is this. And the command is this. I will take this command, and Kafka is creating the problem, right? I hope it will work. Fingers crossed. I'll go back here. I would like to properties. Hit this enter key. Yes, Kafka is also working, guys. It's a great deal for us. It is working fine. Seems it is working fine, guys. I'll go back to my application. I'll first run this application, which is publisher application. I'll say right click, run as Spring Boot application. It is STS only Spring Boot application. And it is deployed in which port number? I think it is deployed in 8484 port number. Okay. I'll go back here. I'll say right click. I will say run as Spring Boot application. It is in 8080 port number most probably. This application is also deployed, guys. No issues. Okay. I do have a Postman tool. I was running this. Guys, you can see body, city, name, and this thing. To add CX44, I will just send this, guys. Customer data added into Kafka server. It is there in the service layer. I'm getting this. And let me go back to my application now. I would like to open this. Guys, are you getting messages coming from Kafka server? And this is this data I'm printing in system.out.println inside this main method. Inside this main method. Are you all able to understand this? That means immediately, the moment you publish the data, at the same time, we could able to also see the data. Whatever message you are sending here. Yes, no, maybe. Immediately, you put the data will be there in one more application. That means a cricket score is getting updated in the actual broadcaster from the Australia who's taking this. and same score will be updated in all the streamers around the globe. Whoever is streaming the live match, in those applications, the data will be updated immediately. That means Australia is publishing that score, and all this application, Hotstar, Geo Cinema, Star Sports, all of them are subscribing that particular data immediately. That is only real-time data. Getting it, all of you present in the class? Yes, no, maybe. I'll just go back and stop it, guys. How to stop? I'll say here. I've stopped. Zookeeper also would like to stop, guys. Okay, it's done. All right. Let me stop this, because see here, continuously it is running, guys. It is like continuously trying to subscribe the data. This is subscriber application continuously running. That means continuously it is trying to subscribe the data. How much of a data that application? There is no data, so it is not subscribing. But if you continuously produce the data, it will continuously subscribe with the lowest latency possible. Two REST APIs. The one API which is producing the, both of them are terminated, right? Yeah. The application which is producing the data is called as publisher application. The application which is subscribing the data is called as subscriber application. And four important components comes into picture, guys. At the time of publishing the data, two important components: Kafka template, producer factory, and at the time of subscribing the application, consumer factory, Kafka listener. Kafka listener, consumer factory, and the data will be published in the Kafka topic which is there in the Kafka server, and it is going to subscribe from the Kafka topic which is in the Kafka server. Fine. Great. Now, guys, one of the most important part which you must be knowing here is that the application which is publishing the data need not to be, it need not to be, what do you say? Only Java, because we are publishing the data in the form of JSON. That means we are using JSON serializer, JSON deserializer. If we are publishing in the Spring Boot, the subscriber can be Python application. If the publisher application on the Kafka server could be the Python application, the subscriber could be the Spring Boot application. Are you getting it? Because we don't have, guys, Australian, the one who is actually producing this score, that application might be in Python, and we GeoCinema, whatever application you're watching the score, may be in the Java. Still, it should be able to subscribe the data, right, everyone? And the same, that day, the Amit which I was talking, could demonstrate some basic only has demonstrated. I mean, the real thing which he tries before implementing that is application which is publishing the data is a Python application. The application which is subscribing the data is a Java application. So the application need not to be the same, but the context here is very simple. This is the context here. Publisher application, subscriber application, Kafka template, and Kafka listener. This is the structure of Kafka and Spring Boot application. Now, guys, Java, whether it is a Spring Boot or whichever topic, all of them are ocean. There is no end to it. Okay, there is never an end to it. Always it is an ocean. The more you learn, still there will be something to learn. Okay, so this officially ends our journey of Java plus Spring Boot plus microservices, and we shall stop our discussion here. I hope all of you are versatile enough that if there is anything which you need to learn, you have versatile understanding of the entire framework which you can learn from yourself. One module, last 10 days I could have completed that, but I was traveling, I could not complete, is on the Spring AI. I mean, that is not promised to you guys, but I am recording for my Udemy course. The Spring AI will be uploaded on my Udemy very soon within 1 month of time, because Hindi course is getting last stage of recording. And that course all of you will be given free of cost. You need not to pay for it. You can just ping me anytime on my LinkedIn. I'll be giving you the coupons to enroll for. It is around 8 to 10 hours of content on generative AIs and how to add the LLMs, AI and Spring applications. Okay, the entire module will be given to you, but it is from my end personally. It is for see, Uday Banu, any resume it is same, not just for Java. I'll go back here and let me do one thing. I'll show you one or two sample resumes, or I'll do one thing. Guys, resume could be Java or any stack, doesn't matter. But I think I have one of my junior colleague resume on which he got selected for so many companies because of that resume. And according to me, that is one of the best resume. Okay. A stack could be anything, but resume is really good. And I want to show you this. Okay. I think it's on the MacBook, guys. Allow me 1 minute. Before I discuss, this is the best way to create the resumes, is what I personally feel. Guys, are you able to see this? This resume got 12 interview calls within 1 week. In 1 week, 12 interview calls. Stack is fine. He's in big data, but it's fine. He's one of my junior colleague in my previous company. See here. All the profile, especially freshers also, please don't mention your hobbies. You played cricket, you are the class monitor, seer, all these things will not matter. Technical skills, what have you done? If you don't have a professional experience, you mention the trainings you have done, the projects you have done, all these things you can mention if you don't have any experience. Projects later, see little only on education. And you can see here projects also on which he has worked on. And here also, according to me, even if you have worked somewhere, mention, and even if you have done some projects, mention the goal of the project and what is your role in that project, what have you used, how you have resolved the problem if you have faced. Okay, why that project and how you have done it. You can see you have undergone the training and you have done so and so in the training, you have learned so and so skills. This is how the resumes have to be there. Okay, guys, you can use one website for this resume which is free of cost also, where such resumes can be built. Okay, I'll just tell you the name of that. Allow me 1 minute. Flow.cv. I think the name of that website is, okay, let me just, amazing. Okay, 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 okay. So many websites are there, guys. The website which usually I would like to prefer is, allow me 1 minute, guys. Hmm. which I also usually use a lot for my last resume when I have applied for JP Morgan. At least I attend 2 interviews in every 3 months, guys, to stay relevant. I have to attend. The last interview which I have attended was on JP Morgan only. And the website, okay. There are many, guys. I would like to prefer either Flow CV, or there was one more called as something called as Kick Resume or something. Flow CV is one, and one more is it's free of cost. You need not to pay anything. They have paid also to have such a resume. It is enough to just to have a free. I mean, such a level of templates. I think Flow CV is sufficient. There is flowcv.com. Go with that. Okay, it will give you a basic template. All right. Spring Boot, Java, DSA. DSA is not for every company, Udebhanu. That depends on the company to company. If you are going to service-based companies, they'll ask few string-based or array-based basic commonly asked question, which you can find in any YouTube channel, normal videos. That's like 2-3 days of programming practice, not more than that. If you're attending any product-based companies, then 2 months of continuous practice on platforms is needed. Okay. Every company will not ask that. Every company will not ask that. That is subjective. Not every company that is needed. All right. So guys, we had started the journey from Java. Then we have understood the Spring Boot and all the components of microservices. And you will get the recordings of microservices also to be uploaded, guys. Recordings of microservices also will be uploaded from the Naveen sir's end. And apart from that, the last video also will be uploaded and key points will be added within the Friday's time. Okay. That mini project also will be added apart from that project which I have shared in the class, right? Okay, there is one more project which will be added, guys. So let me check if I have a link of those projects. Allow me 1 minute of time, guys. All right. And I'll ask our team to add that also. 1 month of time, and it's a one complete month of time, because Hindi ko at a time I'm recording multiple courses, plus my DevOps and cloud batch is getting added. All right. All right. Guys, could you please check by opening these two links, everyone in the class? There are two more mini projects. React video also I'll ask our team, guys. On Friday, it will be done. There are two more projects in this link. Are you able to open? And that this link also I will attach, guys. This also I will attach. This project links I will attach in the course dashboard, in the last class course dashboard. I think that project has been already attached in the project session of microservices. And these two mini projects also will be attached. You can just also check. Are you able to open the links which I have shared in the chat, guys? Those who are watching recorded, this attachment also will be given to you. Need not to worry on that. Let me go back here and let me go here. Data, and it is publisher application. Okay. My dear friends, so one last point is that interview is always subjective. Interview is depends on company, depends on number of people applied for the job, depends on the project, depends on the year of experience, depends on the hiring manager. Five important factors plays a role in any interview. Number of rounds also depends on how many people have applied and what is the opening. If there are 10 openings and 10 people have applied, and if there is hiring is important, the interview level also will be easy, and process also will be easy, everything will be early. If it is two openings, 200 people applied, the level of difficulty will be high. So it depends on many factors. Even companies will be helpless when there are one or two openings and 1000 people applies. They don't have a resource to take interview for 1000 people. Then the extra rounds comes into picture, coding rounds comes into picture, so that the rejection is high and they can take the interview only for few people. Okay. It is very subjective based on the company and profiles. So you have to prepare accordingly. Apart from that, if you have a time, please learn the high level design, low level design, understand some of the important design patterns, understand the same with respect to Java interviews, be prepared for it, and you will be in a position to crack the interview. I'm pretty sure that whatever has been covered is enough to crack any interview. Apart from the DSA practice, some of the design patterns are low level. If you just plan 10, 15, 20 days of serious planning, it is sufficient for the interviews. But don't hesitate yourself to attend the interviews. The most often which I have seen is self rejection. Let company reject you, no problem, you will gain the experience, you will prepare accordingly for the upcoming, but don't self reject. Most of them will don't even apply, thinking that I will reject based on the job description. The job descriptions are always lengthy. Okay. So don't worry, every company will have those many things, but not you should be master at everything. You have to apply, you have to be brave enough, only then you can able to crack this. You can contact me anytime. You can just ping me on the LinkedIn iPhone. And technical doubts, you can ping me on every Saturday 5 p.m. I can just get connected to you for the next 1 month of time. Every Saturday 5 p.m. I'm taking the doubt sessions. If you have anything to discuss with me regards to technical doubts, you can just ping me on every Saturday. I'll share you the Zoom link. Key points will be added before Friday. If it is not added also, just ping me anyone on the LinkedIn. It will be done on Friday. All right, guys, it's time to. You will be getting it from our team, Saiji. All of you will be getting it, guys. 3 days of time. You can ping there also, Chavan, no problem. Mail also on the LinkedIn also, guys. Yes, Vaibhav. Today's file. Okay. All right. Whatever project I have shared with you, right, last project session, Akash, that is more than sufficient because that is the maximum. Apart from that, the two project links which I am sharing, no, this is also sufficient because that project, everything is implemented. Every major thing is implemented in that project. I think that is sufficient to even to explain for you. Okay. Don't fix it just without Lombok. Try to learn Saiji. Is Swagger compulsory? No, Swagger is not compulsory. That is not the only way of documenting, guys. Swagger is one of the option. Okay, but usually it is good to implement the documentation using the Swagger. It's highly recommended, but not compulsory part. We have discussed the concept of profiles. Please check that. All right, guys. Thank you for being with me for a longer period of time. Thank you for the patience. And I may have not stood with your expectation on everything, but trust me, I have tried my best on every concept from absolute scratch to this level. To the best of my ability, I tried to simplify the concepts, and the goal was to make you versatile enough that you can learn anything in future if you require. Even in the coding, the way Java I tried to explain is that you understand the fundamentals, you understand the, not just specific concept of Java, but in general programming. That is the main goal. Same goes with the framework also. The whole agenda was not just to make you explain Spring, not just to make you explain the latest version of Spring. I tried to make you understand the funda behind the frameworks and try to make you versatile, but still I'm also a human being. For everything I am not stood as per your no expectation, but I have tried my best. Most of you have enrolled for my DevOps and AWS course. See you in that course, and also please stay connected me on the LinkedIn for anything and everything. And this maybe in future we may again come across for some courses or for some company or somewhere. It's an emotional moment for me to say goodbye. For such a long period, we had interacted almost on every morning. And from now on, there will be no one for you to say, please reply, please response. And you may not have to wake up early morning. It's high time for you to practice. It's easy to attend the classes, then to practice, prepare when nothing is there. Okay, there is no schedule now. The entire time is your time. It's not easy for you to just open up your laptop, watch any of the video, try to practice it. It's not easy. If there is a class, at least something is there every day which will remind you that I am have enrolled for the courses. But right now that is not there. I want all of you to prepare to the best of your ability. Give dedicated deadlines. Say that in 1 month I'll revise everything. 1 month I'll prepare for interview and I'll attend the interviews. That's how you will be in a position to do it. DevOps course is starting on the weekend of 18th January. It's a weekend batch, only Saturday, Sunday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. Okay. Sure, Uday Banu. Definitely. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for being with me in today's class. Thank you, every one of you. Thank you for being with me in this journey. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. Stay connected. Apology for something which I have not stood up to your expectation, and I have tried my best. Thank you for being with me in this beautiful journey. Thank you, everyone. Of you, we shall meet again in future. Thank you all. Thank you, sir. Happy New Year, everyone. Have a strong resolution. Implement, be the best implementers. That's all from my end. Goodbye to everyone. Thank you all.